I have three news stories for you. Firstly, we'll talk about direct flights to Tigray. On the 5th of July, Ethiopian government announced that it had allowed humanitarian partners to fly to Tigray. Now we have some additional information available about this development. Secondly, some rumors are going around about Getachew Reda's sister. Thirdly, these minutes, UN Security Council's session on GERD is underway. What is happening at the UN Security Council? We'll have a look at that. Firstly, viewers, on the 5th of July, Ethiopian government claimed that it had allowed flights to Tigray for humanitarian purposes. But back then we questioned whether direct flights will be allowed to Tigray or not. Now we have some additional information available. Direct flights to Tigray are not being allowed to Tigray. Ethiopian government is telling humanitarian partners, humanitarian agencies to land at Addis Ababa airport first. And at Addis Ababa airport, thorough checkings will be carried out. After that, these humanitarian flights will be allowed to take off for Tigray. And after taking off from Tigray, then these flights will have to come back in Addis Ababa. Again, thorough checkings, then they'll be allowed to leave Ethiopia. So, direct flights to Tigray are not being allowed by Ethiopian government. It has been confirmed by several sources. Secondly, viewers, an unfortunate rumor. Though TDF supporters, TPLF-backed news sources are claiming that it's not a rumor, it has happened. Getachew Reda's sister, Getachew Reda, has been kidnapped, viewers. News sources are claiming that on Thursday morning, she was kidnapped from her home in Addis Ababa. She is a housewife. She has no political role, no career as a politician, as an activist, or as a fighter. She's just a housewife, but she has been kidnapped from her house in Addis Ababa. Her whereabouts are still unknown. Ethiopian government has not issued any statement in this regard so far. Who kidnapped her? No one knows, viewers. Some unknown armed man kidnapped her. Was he kidnapped by Ethiopian government forces or by some militia or some armed group? No one knows, viewers. But fingers are being pointed at Ethiopian government, Ethiopian security forces. That is why Ethiopian government must issue a statement. If Ethiopian security forces are not involved in the abduction of Getachew Reda, then investigations must be launched into her disappearance. Who kidnapped her? Thirdly, last news story. These minutes, UN Security Council's meeting on GERD, Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, is underway. Egyptian and Sudanese foreign ministers are attending this meeting. Ethiopia has not sent its foreign minister. Ethiopia has sent its water minister. Ethiopian Foreign Minister Demeke Mekonnen is in Ethiopia. Yesterday he held a briefing for Western diplomats, especially African diplomats, and he briefed the diplomats about GERD. And he called upon UN Security Council in yesterday's briefing that UNSC must not discuss GERD, and GERD should be referred back to African Union. So Ethiopia is against the very holding of this meeting. Ethiopia says that UN Security Council should not discuss this matter. On the other hand, viewers, Sudan and Egypt, they are trying that some sort of resolution is passed at UN Security Council calling upon Ethiopia to stop the second filling of GERD. Tunisia has drafted a resolution, viewers, but in today's session, this resolution is not expected to be tabled. These minutes, discussions are underway. So far, resolution drafted by Tunisia has not been tabled, but the main purpose of this meeting from Egyptian and Sudanese perspective is to have a joint statement calling upon Ethiopia to stop the second filling of GERD. So in the coming hours, I'll update you about the outcome of this meeting. But experts are telling viewers that now Ethiopia cannot technically stop the second filling of GERD. Second filling of GERD is underway. It will be completed. So there are some technical issues as well. UN Security Council's role is very crucial, viewers. Egypt and Sudan are pinning their hopes on the US and other members, while Ethiopia has backing of Russia and China. Because the outcome of this UN Security Council meeting is going to be very significant. It is perhaps the last diplomatic option available for Sudan and Egypt. African Union-led talks have failed. Democratic Republic of Congo hosted talks about GERD. Those talks failed as well. Now UN Security Council is perhaps the last diplomatic option available for Egypt and Sudan. That is why Egypt and Sudan have been trying to rally the support of their friendly countries. But if UN Security Council fails to issue any joint statement about GERD, if no binding resolution is passed at the UN Security Council, what will happen after that? Will Egypt and Sudan go for a military option? So several questions will be answered after the conclusion of this meeting. Egypt and Sudan, they do not want to exercise a military option. They want some sort of diplomatic solution to this crisis, viewers. They are trying to internationalize this issue, but Ethiopia says African problems must be solved by African forums.